Rivalries have always been a thing in the WPIL football season. Rivalries become a natural thing when two teams are just separated by 3 little miles. But when those rivalries have playoff implications involved, where both teams need a victory, they become elevated to another level. A level where both teams are in a do-or-die situation. Two schools who share the same town name, where all the students and athletes know each other and may have even played with each other before they were split by 2 school colors, green and blue. A bitter rivalry compared to those at the college ranks, where both teams may know each other well but don't have to like each other on and off the field. A hard-hitting game where the players know where giving your all may not just be enough, but may be won by the team that goes the extra distance. The game on the schedule that everybody waits for, no matter if you are winning a lot of games or losing a lot of games. The Riverside Panthers, the Ellwood City Wolverines. 2 teams just separated by 3 miles. A rivalry that has changed hands back and forth. A rivalry coined with a name that will forever be true rivalry. The RIV-ELL Cup. The 38th meeting of the RIV-ELL Cup and history are next.
So you're probably wondering why you should even care about the Riverside versus Ellwood City rivalry. Well, right now I'm at the Ellwood City new turf field they just put up as of last year of 2022, and let's just say I know this rivalry a little bit inside and out, a little bit on both sides in a sense. So I live in Ellwood City, the address at least, but I went to Riverside High School, and I'll show you both sides of this. As of right now, I'm on the Ellwood City field, and now I'm at the Riverside field, where I played and where I went to high school. This field is very special to me because this is where I played my 4 years of high school. And on this field, I beat Ellwood City twice in my high school career. And on their field, the turf field, Ellwood City's new turf field, I beat them twice there. Now this rivalry is very important to many people, including myself, because this is where I went to school. This is where I played on this field. This field is very important to me in a sense, but the rivalry is more than just the game. It's about the community. It's about what the impact is after school, the impact during school, and the history behind it.
My name's Isaac Zellum. I graduated 2021. I've been playing football for as long as I can remember.
My name is Cassidy Schlemmer. I graduated in 2022 from Riverside High School.
I'm Kathy Tilia. I graduated from Riverside High School in 1995, and I have been a current Ellwood City school board member now for almost my 2nd year now.
Eric Schlemmer, graduated Riverside 1993.
I had asked what they felt about the rivalry since they have been out of high school. This is what they had to say.
When I first started, I remember playing Ellwood every single year, but I didn't know they were our rivals because of how young I started playing. Until like 2 years in, I started knowing people from Ellwood, and then the actual like click of what a rivalry was kind of started kicking up with it. And for the most part, it was a lot over the top, but like on both sides, we still would look out for each other.
That they are happy to still be playing each other, and everybody seems to look forward to that game.
Mostly that it was just the biggest game of the year for us.
I didn't really care for it. You know, I think like speaking back on it now, like it doesn't seem like a huge deal to me, but I think it was a big deal. I mean, it was something that Riverside always held very proudly if they beat Ellwood, and people would post about it on social media about, you know, oh, we beat Ellwood, blah, 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 blah. So even in school, like, it was a huge thing, like, if we won.
You would have thought it was the Super Bowl of all high school games.
For me personally, The rivalry wasn't really big in general, but I did like having it with people I knew. So being able to know people that are a stone's throw away, having that little competition between them makes the game more alive, I guess. Like, you're fighting with people you actually know, you're playing against people you know instead of schools that are miles away and you don't really know anybody from there.
Not only was it a big game for the football team, because it was the battle between the two local high schools. The band kind of got involved with that.
Like, the band would get pretty rowdy too and want Riverside to win and cheer Riverside on, and sometimes even, you know, boo Ellwood.
With the cheering and pep rallies that were held the week leading up to the game.
There was always a pep rally that the marching band would go to, and they would burn a Ellwood City jersey on top of a bunch of pallets, and I think it was always the night before the Riverside Ellwood game. The marching band would come and play the fight song and maybe something else, and like there were always a lot of people there, and like teachers came as well, and it was just a big fire, and like country songs were playing because, you know, it was Riverside.
I then asked them what they had remembered from either a past game or a past experience they had in high school.
Friend of mine that went here who moved to Ellwood, Joe Bigley, went there, and we were both starters. So there was like this little back and forth between us since we knew each other, and we're gonna be going head to head against each other, of more of a personal rivalry there with the mix of which one's better for which, since he's been to both and I've seen both.
Well, I remember Ron Shiro is my main coach at Riverside, and I forget who it was for Ellwood, but it was always a good thing. Everybody was excited and got all hepped up for the game.
What I can remember is just the week leading up to the game was just everybody was, it was like hype week.
I then asked them if they had a favorite story or a favorite memory from the rivalry, and this is what they had to say.
Oh, I think one of my, I don't know about favorite times, but in middle school, I think it was my 8th grade year, we won against Ellwood, and our coach, Mr. Severin, was not happy that we didn't win by an extended amount, so we had an extra practice punishing us over that.
I do remember that.
That one was... Ugh.
I always remember whenever we got down to Three Rivers Stadium and Riverside would play Aliquippa even down there, and of course we lost to Aliquippa.
Yeah, I definitely miss high school football more than I did with college or anything. I was saying this before, it's not really missing high school football, it's more of missing the community built around it, knowing everybody that I've played with for so many years. Like, we were truly a family, and we talked about that throughout practice, and that was one of our main goals going through practice.
The RIV-ELL Cup is a trophy that has been passed around for many years between Riverside and Ellwood City. It has been around for over 40 years, and the rivalry has gone back and forth many, many times.
I just know that it was passed between the teams. You know, if Ellwood won, Riverside won the previous year, Ellwood would get that trophy, and if Riverside would win the next year, Ellwood would give that trophy back to Riverside.
The RIV-ELL Cup is something we brought home every single year when we won. Unfortunately, it's, from the sounds of it, lost it this year, but being able to win every year, even when we were freshmen not even playing, you still got to hold the cup and take pictures with the teammates because you were in practice with them, you were helping to make them better, and you helped prepare them for the game against Ellwood.
I just always remember seeing the guys posting on Instagram about how, like, holding the trophy and how proud they were, and that's really all I remember.
The RIV-ELL Cup has been with Riverside for the past 7 years, 7 straight years. But this year may surprise you. And now, time for the 38th meeting of the RIV-ELL Cup. Now, Riverside was already down this season and was not having the best season. They were 1-7 overall before this game, while Ellwood City was 5-4 overall. To start, in the first quarter, Palmer McCain scored a 1-yard touchdown and then scored a 41-yard touchdown later on. The touchdowns were bookended by a 47-yard touchdown strike from quarterback Chris Smiley, who had a stellar game. He was 9 for 14 and 170 yards with 1 touchdown to Duquesne Gray. By then, Ellwood City was leading 21-0 after the first quarter. Then, Palmer McCain found the end zone 2 more times in the second quarter, first on a 39-yard run, and late in the second quarter for a 2-yard run. Tyler Smiley scored an 8-yard run with under 1 minute left in regulation to round out the scoring. For Riverside, they finished 1-8 overall, with quarterback Aiden Garcia finishing with 84 yards passing. Robert Janis earned a 41-yard rushing, and Zach Hare hauled in a game-high 8 catches for 74 yards. Ellwood City held a sizable time of possession advantage, going from 35 minutes to Riverside's 12 minutes and 50 seconds. Ellwood side did not punt at all in this victory. Overall, Ellwood City won this absolute blowout, 41-0, and went 5-5 on the season and were able to go into the playoffs with that record. In the end, Riverside finished 1-8 on the season and hoped to come back next season. Ellwood City finally won the RIV-ELL Cup after 7 years of Riverside winning it. The RIV-ELL Cup victory was clinched by the Wolverines as well as the first playoff berth since 2011 for the program. Although the Ellwood City Wolverines ended up losing in the first round of the WIPIEL 2A Division playoffs to Washington. But they've had the best season they've had in 7 years. I then asked them if the rivalry was still alive today.
I think, especially with Ellwood winning after a long loss, the rivalry I think would definitely start to pick up more, especially since from years past it's never really been a will Ellwood win, it's more of a how bad will they lose type thing. But especially with this year coming up and the past year, with them winning it, I feel like it's going to be more heated than it ever has been.
It's like people still post about it on social media. And I went to the Riverside Ellwood game this year. And unfortunately, Ellwood did win.
I don't think it's as big as it used to be. I think it's still kind of considered a rivalry, but I don't think you get, the band's not big like it used to be. It's definitely a lot smaller. So you don't have the numbers there to support what's going on.
I don't think it exists like it used to. I think everybody just looks forward to that, and it's just a lot of fun night.
Like, especially on social media, I think it's a huge thing. As I saw a bunch of posts about it and how Riverside thought we were gonna win and we ended up not winning, and then Ellwood was posting about how they crushed us.
Oh gosh, it used to be huge when I was in high school. The parents all got involved, the band parents and the football parents. It is not like it was back when I was in high school, that's for sure. I do believe it has died off.
I then asked them whether they were supporting Riverside or Ellwood City depending on their new situation. Me personally, I still support Riverside High School.
It doesn't really matter, but you tend to compare and you shouldn't. And right now, I'm really happy that I am in Ellwood instead of Riverside.
I mean, yes, because I graduated from Riverside, but like, I have friends who go to Ellwood.
Oh, it'd always be Riverside.
I always was a Riverside fan, and now that I've lived in Ellwood half my life, I'd say I'm more favor Ellwood.
Obviously, like when I went to the football game, like I wanted Riverside to win, but it doesn't really matter to me.
I'm still 100% back in Riverside. They'll always be my team. I went there my entire life, and my dad went there, so my little cousin's going there, and I'm hoping he plays, but that's up to him.
In the end, this game is more than just a game. It is a rivalry of a community. It is a rivalry of history. It is a rivalry between two towns. The fun thing about all of this is, I was in the part of this rivalry. In fact, I've been able to hold the RIV-ELL Cup. I've played in 4 RIV-ELL Cups. I was glad to take home the 4 victories I had, and the memories that I was able to bring along. The friendships, the community, the family, the brotherhood. A rivalry of 3 little miles. It was all more than just a game.